What's up, guys? This is NovaForrest with SupernovaAlerts.com, and I am bringing you a video lesson today on SGNL. Now, this stock was a stock that, if you look over here, gapped open today. See, this was the close of yesterday, and it gapped all the way, from what it closed at 133, gapped all the way up to 184. So, which is this candle. This is the opening candle of today, September 23rd, which is a Wednesday. And one of my patterns played out again. This is the same pattern as plug. And if you haven't seen that video, go ahead and check that out first, because in that video I mentioned something about a false breakout, which that's what happened in this case. And I told y'all last video that I was going to be looking for a false breakout, and unfortunately this false breakout I actually traded. I lost a little bit of money, but it happens as long as I cut my losses short. So this is the first candle. You can see it's when it's filled in white on my chart, it's a negative candle, but it stayed above the previous candle. And the red, of course, the negative white is positive. You can see the high of this candle was 187, so $1.87. So I was looking for a break over that since it dipped down here. I was fumbling around a little bit when all this volume came in at once, and then it broke over 187, and I didn't get into 190. That's 2-cent difference of what I would have gotten in, but I was typing in my order as this was jumping through, so I just bought at market, which I rarely do, but sometimes you can't get the order and it'll just keep on rolling. So I got in at 190, and it kind of came back down. It broke down its initial breakout point at 187 all the way down to 182, and then it came up, kind of tried the $2 roll, but it didn't quite get it until this candle. And I was looking for a solid 10% gain. So for 190, that would have been 209. I actually had a limit sell order at 209, expecting this, once this broke out, expecting it to jump up just like it jumped up to 205. I was expecting it to jump up to maybe 215 or so, but just to be on the safe side, I put it at 209. Unfortunately, it did not get all the way up to 209, which sucks because, as you can see, it did not. It broke down the $2 mark immediately. It just kind of bounced up there and then just came back down within a couple seconds. And then there's all these negative candles, and after all these negative candles, I jumped out at 180. My potential reward would have been 10%. I didn't want any more than 5%. It was about 5.5% that I lost on that trade, which wasn't too bad considering the potential downside. As you can see right here, it's all the way down. If I would have held on to it, been a bag holder, I would have been down a lot more than that. So it's always important to cut losses quick. And once this candle came, it broke down. This is the new low of the day here at 169 right here, and that was a short signal. You see it gapped up. This is a trade called short the gap up. That's how it's commonly known throughout the trading community, is short the gap up. Generally you have to wait. It's risky on very low floats like this, but this, I believe the news, if it even had any news, was just fluff, meaning that it wasn't very important. If there was any news at all, I don't remember. I heard that there wasn't any news, but I didn't really look into it. I trade patterns more than anything. I guess I should have read news, but I didn't have time. I woke up a little late this morning. But this was a short signal, so I wasn't looking at it here. I was just kind of forgetting about it at the time, just because checking out other stocks. And I tried to get a short in around 160, but I just didn't. I don't know why. I was trading other things. Funds were in other things, and it was hard. It was pretty hard to find shares to short on this, depending on what broker you use. So I didn't want to make a trade where all the students couldn't benefit from, which is why I didn't alert this call, because right around here, as I was sitting in my limit order, you know, I was just, well, not the limit order, the stop order, which pretty much it won't, you know, if you set in a limit order above the price, so say it's at 180, if I set a limit order in at 188, it will immediately activate if there's an ask or a bid or whatever under that. So you have to set a stop order, I believe, depending on your broker. It should be labeled stop or stop limit or something like that, and you have to set it up here to buy at 188. That's all I was setting in, and right after I set that in, I was going to alert, but as I told you guys earlier, it just kind of shot through and I barely got my own entry. So, which, you know, turned out well since it was a losing trade anyway. And as you can see, if I would have went with the short the gap up, even if, you know, I would have waited until it broke the low of the day, which that's what I generally do. Risk reward is better there. You know, I would have done it around 169 or so, even though it came all the way back up to, you know, 175, 169, and held it for the rest of the day, which generally the rest of the day, unless I wanted to eliminate my position and get profits. But as you can see, it's just been downtrending the whole time. Bounced up a little bit, but it's at 142 right now. Low of the day was 135, so that would have been a solid 35-cent gain per share, and that would have been a beautiful trade. That's over 20%. So unfortunately I missed that, but this is a perfect example of a false breakout. Make sure you get out of these soon. Sometimes they'll come down and bounce off the 13 EMA, but at that point I would have just re-entered if it would have come all the way back up at this doji. See, that's why I don't listen to the doji, because everyone's like, oh, doji, that means reversal. Well, it didn't reverse here. It just kept on going down. A lot of times, you know, what people say, especially after all these red candles, the doji, you know, will just start coming back up. If that was the case, you know, I sold at 180, I would have come back up and bought at the new high of the day, so at 205, 206, and then generally at the new high of the day over a $2 roll, it would have kept on going, so I would have made my money back generally. But that's not the case in this one due to the lack of news. And this happens a lot. You can see this one spiked all the way up, came down. This one ran all the way up and then gapped all the way down here, and that's generally what happens. It spiked up, gapped up here, and came all the way down. And this one's the biggest one of you know, the past couple months, which, you know, so this stock is known for not being able to hold its spikes at all. Up here, down, up here, down, up here, down. So that would have been a good short candidate. I don't know what I was thinking there, but learn from my mistakes. You know, everyone says, you know, you have to learn from your mistakes. Well, you can learn from other people's mistakes as well. So that's why I'm making these lessons, so y'all can learn from my mistakes over the past, you know, 3-4 years that I've been trading. So that's a false breakout for you. If you have any questions, email me at supernovaforrest@gmail.com. I'll have that email in the description below. And have a good day, guys. Happy trading. Peace.